get ready, because we are diving deep today.
Into some serious AI.
You got it. We're talking attention is all you need.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
This paper was huge EE. It's the one that really put transformers on the map.
Exactly. Before this paper, AI models were kind of like, well, imagine trying to listen to a symphony, but you can only hear one instrument at a time.
You'd get bits and pieces, but the real magic, like the way all the parts weave together, that'd be totally lost.
And that's what it was like with language models back then. They were stuck processing everything sequentially, one word at a time.
Like reading a sentence, but you can only remember the last word you saw. By the time you get to the end, you've lost the plot.
Exactly. RNNs and LSTMs, they were the heavy hitters back then, but they had this major limitation.
Especially with longer sentences, it's like trying to understand a joke by analyzing each word individually. You lose all the nuance, the context, the humor, everything.
Makes sense. They just couldn't handle those long-range dependencies.
Exactly. They were trying, but their design just wasn't cut out for it.
So we've got these models struggling to keep up, and then boom, attention is all you need comes along and changes everything.
It was a game changer.
But what was so revolutionary about their approach? How did they solve this problem? Okay, so how do they crack the code? What's the secret sauce behind the transformer?
Well, it's all about attention, right there in the title. Instead of looking at a sentence like a line of individual words, the transformer sees it as a whole, all at once.
Whoa, so it's like it's got this panoramic view, taking everything in at a glance.
Exactly. And that's how we understand language, right? You're not just processing my last word right now.
Definitely not. I'm trying to connect all the dots, building this whole mental model of what you're saying.
Precisely, and that's what the transformer does. It figures out how each word relates to every other word, regardless of how far apart they are.
Okay, that's super cool. But how does it actually do that? Is this where the multi-head attention thing comes in? I've heard that term thrown around.
You got it. That's the real game changer here. Imagine instead of just one person trying to understand a sentence, you've got a whole team, each focusing on a different aspect.
Oh, like different perspectives. So one person is looking for the main verb, another one's analyzing the adjectives, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Each of these heads in multi-head attention is analyzing the sentence from a different angle, giving the transformer a much richer understanding.
Okay, so multiple perspectives makes sense. But I'm still a little fuzzy on the how. How do these heads actually work?
Think of it like this. Let's say you're searching for a specific recipe online. You type in your keywords, that's your query. Then you've got all these recipes online, each with its own set of keywords, right? Those are our keys.
Okay, so far so good.
And finally, the value is the actual recipe itself. So you're using your query to find recipes that match your specific keys, and if you get a hit, bam, you've unlocked the value, the perfect recipe.
I'm following. It's like a treasure hunt for information. My query is the map, the keys are the clues, and the value is the hidden treasure.
You got it. And the transformer does this with every single word in a sentence. It's constantly comparing, contrasting, figuring out which words are the most important and how they relate to each other.
Mind blown. So they use this multi-head attention thing to build a language model that can actually understand context, relationships, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
No more one word at a time nonsense.
Exactly. And the results speak for themselves. This is what allowed them to achieve state-of-the-art results in machine translation, which was the main focus of the paper.
Okay, so they cracked the code on translation. That's huge. But something tells me the story doesn't end there, does it? There's got to be more to the story. This feels bigger than just better translations, right?
Oh, way bigger. This wasn't just a win for language translation. It was a win for AI as a whole.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
This paper, it was like a ripple effect. Suddenly, everyone was thinking about attention, about processing information in parallel. It's like they unlocked this whole new level of understanding for machines.
So what kind of impact are we talking about here? Give me the rundown.
Well, think about all the ways we use language. Chatbots, writing assistants, even things like code generation. They've all been touched by the transformer's magic.
Wait, seriously? Those AI writing tools that seem to know exactly what I want to say before I say it.
Transformers, probably. Their ability to understand and generate language, it's pretty mind-blowing. And it all stems back to this idea of attention.
So this one paper, attention is all you need, it's behind some of the most sophisticated language technology we use today.
It's the foundation. And the crazy thing is, we're still just scratching the surface of what's possible. The authors of this paper, they probably couldn't have imagined how far their ideas would reach.
It really makes you think, if attention is this powerful for machines, this essential for understanding language, what does that tell us about our own brains?
The million-dollar question, and one that researchers are still trying to answer. But that's the beauty of deep dive like this. It's not just about understanding a technical paper.
It's about uncovering these deeper questions about intelligence, about how we learn, how we think.
And maybe, just maybe, it'll inspire some new breakthroughs along the way.
Well, that's a wrap on another deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of transformers and the power of attention.
And if this sparked your curiosity, don't stop here. There's a whole universe of fascinating research out there waiting to be explored.
So until next time, keep those brains buzzing and keep diving deep.